The views and opinions expressed on this program do not reflect the company, owners, management, staff, clients, or partners.
Welcome to Bermuda's Daily Talk Show. It's the Daily Hour.
ChatGPT did become the world's most downloaded non-gaming app.
Literally the job of everyone in government to address the media and the public.
What are your thoughts, audience? What are your thoughts on Zandy Silva as the deputy PLP leader?
A community that can't feed itself is a community that doing.
What you may not know, though, is that Bermuda, we have a connection with Epstein, too.
Things that people are doing right, the youth are doing right, that is not being advertised enough.
When you see your access to U.S. dollars disappear, that's when you have a problem.
If you've got a town in the UK with a similar sized population, this place absolutely outshines it.
It's Tuesday, the 28th day of July. Welcome. This is the Daily Hour, brought to you by the BAC Group of Companies, HSBC, Bermuda Medical House, Lindo's, People's Pharmacy, and big love to Hot 107.5 for ensuring that we can pump through the radio airwaves with these most important community conversations. I'm Jamal Hartman. How's everyone feeling today? It is like, it's not Cop Match Eve quite. It's not Emancipation Day Eve. It's like 2 days prior, like it's Eve. So let's say it's Cop Match Eve today. But how's everyone feeling? Everybody got your collars on? You got your collars on? You see me, right? You see your boy. I got a shade of blue. It's not the Somerset blue. It's not navy blue, but I'm representing. Nobody could talk about me today. I am representing. Got my back in Studio J, as you can see. But I'm feeling good about my team this year. You heard my coach yesterday. You heard my coach. I am feeling good about my team this year. Yep. In the words of the great, the illustrious, the intellectual, Charles H. Jefferson II, quote, "It's our year," end quote. And I mean it. Yeah. I mean it. Excited though. I'm happy. As I've said before, Cop Match is one of my favorite holidays on the calendar for so many reasons beyond cricket. But anyway, folks, greetings everyone, and thanks for making us part of your daily routine. A good one today as we welcome the executive director of CURB, Stacey-Lee Williams, on the show. We're going to be talking about the true meaning of Cop Match, emancipation, and Mary Prince Day. So really looking forward to the conversation with Stacey today. This is an exciting week. Like, energy should be high. Everyone should be wearing their colors, flags flying. HSBC is rocking through Bermuda. Forget the weather. We will make things right. Don't let the weather put a damper on what is our biggest holiday on the calendar. Alrighty, folks. Well, hey, we've got a lot to discuss today. Yeah. Oh, did I tell you? The daily play is going to be a bit of Remember When. Yeah, it's going to be a Remember When today. And don't forget to subscribe on our website, thedailyhour.com. Follow us on all of our social media channels to stay up to date with all that we have going on. Help us grow beyond the mic as we do our part to continue to improve our community. All right, let's jump right into it, folks. Here's the question of the morning. We always talk about, who our Cop Match team is and who we think will win and this and that and the other. But I want to hear some stories this morning. How did you become a supporter of the Cop Match team that you cheer for? How did you become a supporter of the Cop Match team that you cheer for? That's what I really want to know. How did you become a supporter? Like this week is the holiday many of us wait all year to celebrate. You could even call it our version of Christmas in July. On Emancipation Day and Mary Prince Day, St. George's and Somerset will once again take the field for the annual Cop Match Classic. For 2 days, the island will be divided into two camps. Some will proudly wear two shades of blue, while others will be decked out in red and blue. The banter will be relentless, friendships will be tested, and social media will be full of predictions about who will be lifting the cup come Friday evening. It's one of the things that makes Cup Match so special. Growing up, I remember St. George's having the cup for much of my childhood. Back then, I honestly didn't know many Somerset supporters outside of Somerset itself. Fast forward to today, and it feels like Somerset supporters are everywhere. So what happened? It got me thinking. Got me thinking about something I've never really asked people. How did you become a supporter of the club you cheer for? Was it because your parents supported that team? Was it where you grew up? Did you marry into a Cup Match family? Was there a particular player who inspired you? Or did you simply decide one day that those were going to be your colors? For many of us, supporting a Cup Match team isn't really a decision we make, right? It's something that's almost inherited. It's passed down through generations, becoming part of family tradition. For others, it's tied to community or friendships or memorable moments from childhood. Whatever the reason, it's fascinating how something as simple as choosing a team can become such a strong part of our identity. Now, before anyone gets carried away, let's remember that beneath all the rivalry is something much bigger. Cup Match isn't about Somerset and St. George's. It's about commemorating Emancipation Day and Mary Prince Day. The cricket gives us the rivalry, but the history gives the holiday its meaning. So today, let's keep it light and have a little fun. And you see the question. We're asking you, how did you become a supporter of the Cup Match team you cheer for? That's your daily discussion this morning. Let's take a quick break. Think about it. Let us know. Well, you shouldn't have to think about it. You should know. Let us know. How'd you begin supporting Somerset or St. George?
People's ACW, located at King Edward VII Memorial Hospital, carries over-the-counter medicines, toys, cards, and even toiletries. Our knowledgeable staff are there whether you're at emergency, visiting family, or a member of BHB staff, to show you our best even when you're feeling your worst. People's ACW, we're here for you.
Alrighty, folks, this is your daily discussion brought to you by Titan Express and Secure. We're asking you, how did you become a supporter of the Cup Match team that you cheer for? Like, how did that happen? I can tell you, honestly, I was indoctrinated. My family was for St. George. I would only attend Cup Match at St. George. I mean, I went to Somerset a few times, but I think it was also, I was always at Eastern County as well. So I grew up like down the Eastern County. I attended St. George's Youth Center. So I did, it's weirdly enough, being from town, I did a lot of things down St. George when I was young. So I think that was part of the reason that I became a St. George's fan. I was pretty much put into an environment. I was born into an environment that was always for St. George's. And as a child, I always liked Arnold Mendes and Clevie Wade. Clevie Wade was, to me, one of the most attractive batsmen out there, the way he batted. And then some of my other favorite players ended up playing for St. George's. Lionel Cann, obviously Clay Smith, and Glenn Blakeney. Just most exciting batsman to me. So that's how I became a St. George's fan at the time. How did you all begin supporting the teams you do? Let us know. And also, here's the poll. And just be honest. Bias aside, how do you think the game will end this week? A St. George's win, 1, Somerset win, 2, or draw, 3. How do you think the game will end? Let me look at the weather, because that will give us some insight as to how it may end. So, I'm going to say draw. I'm going to say draw for sure, looking at the weather. But we've got, what are you thinking? Kids Delight said, grew up Frizzle's Hill. So what does that mean? Who are you for? Frizzle's Hill, St. George's or Somerset? Let us know. I honestly don't know. How'd you choose your team? Nicole Walker says, raised and still live in St. George's. There's a different level of love and support from St. George's versus being for St. George's. Nice light blue shirt. Been wearing my colors every day. Yeah, you can see me, folks. I'm representing. Thank you. So yeah, I mean, I did meet someone in the TDH family. I did. Who told me on Friday, I'm not calling any names, man, that you live next to St. George's Cricket Club and you're for Somerset. Folks, how does this even happen? I don't care if you're not first from St. George's. Once you come in, you gotta, change your passport. I am disgusted. Karen Edwards Simmons says, my parents were for St. George's, but I married a Somerset supporter, so our house is divided for 2 days only. Females blue and males red and blue. That's a shame. That's a shame. We love Uncle Gavin, but, no one's perfect. Let's just say that. No one's perfect. Sonia J. Gibbons says, good morning. My late mother was born in St. George's and didn't move from there until she was 19, so I didn't have a choice. All righty. Okay. Indoctrination works, folks. So work on those young people now. All right. Nicole Walker, she says, St. George's will win. No one thinks Somerset will win? Where's the Somerset fans this morning? Who do you think will win cup match? Folks, you got to press 1 for St. George, 2 for Somerset, and 3 for draw. And remember, you can only press the number. If you press the number and type something else, it's not going to record. All right. We've got Suzanne Ingham. She says, all I heard about was St. George's. They won all the time. I just don't like red. Well, see, here's the thing about red. Knoll Village Community Club, that's my home club, red. Bayless Bay, red. Manchester United, red. The Atlanta Braves, red. Those are my teams. St. George's is the only team I cheer for that doesn't have red in it. Yeah. So based on all of my other teams, I should have been a Somerset fan, but they were such losers when I was young, All righty. Kiz Delight says St. George's. Coming from Friswell's Hill, she's St. George's. Okay. Nicole Walker obviously has seen the weather, so she's saying Mother Nature needs to cool out. Yeah, the weather doesn't look good for a cup match. It doesn't right now, but look, folks, still 2 days to go. A lot can change, so hopefully the weather chills out. Let us know, though, folks. Again, we're talking this morning, having some cup match week fun. How did you become a supporter of the cup match team that you support? How did you become a supporter of the cup match team that you support? Again, for me, it was all I was around. Like, even though I'm from town, my family basically was very much for St. George's. I attended St. George's youth centers. I was a child of Eastern County, which doesn't mean much because a lot of players from Eastern County went to play for Somerset because, they just don't have cricketers that are as good as the East up there. I'm just going to say it. But yeah, I that's how I became a St. George fan. And I've been a St. George's supporter at least 2 days of the year for quite a while. Suzanne Ingham just called out Manuela John. I wonder why. Manuela says, my family was for Somerset. We had some St. George's supporters join the family. 2 of my children support St. George. Well, I'm good. I'm so happy that you're raising good, intelligent, respectful, and good decision-making children. Yes, 2 of them, at least. We are happy to hear that. Making good decisions. We appreciate those St. George's supporters. Nicole Walker says she is a very defiant St. George's resident. She must be talking about Miss Manuela John. Okay. We're working on it. Never too late. Charles H. Jefferson II says, despite most of my family on both sides supporting that other team, I chose St. George's because they were always winning and I lived town. St. George's didn't lose the cup until I was at Berkeley. Maybe Berkeley has something to do with it, Charles. Should have went Whitney or something. I'm sorry. All right, folks. Come on. Yeah, Somerset showing up. Who do you think will win the game? 1 for St. George's, 2 for Somerset, 3 for draw. I'm going with a draw simply because of the weather, but I'm also going with a draw because of the performances from last year. I think that St. George's actually looks like they can bat out a draw. And as Jason and the gents said on Cup Match Selection Night, The truth is the game should always end in a draw over 2 days open cricket because the team should be that good. I think we're looking at better teams playing this year. So even if the weather wasn't a factor, I think it would be probably a draw. I just know it's not going to be as dominant for Somerset as it once was because St. George's has better players, if we're honest. Luke Haran and Keegan Jones represent a new era to me. They represent an opportunity for St. George's to do some things during hot match. Sonia J. Gibbons says, unfortunately, the weather may be the winner, but I have been known to do a rain dance in the past, but I'm praying for good weather and the St. George's victory. Absolutely. I'm with you. I am absolutely with you. We've got all my teams wear blue except Ayla's Bay. So Cousin Nicole's opposite of me. Yeah, all my teams were red except St. George. So maybe, yeah. I don't know. Selena Simon says, born and raised with both parents from Somerset. All of my family members are from Somerset. I had no choice. She was born into it as well. Yeah, indoctrination. You know what? Former minister and current MP Renee May, man, her youngest daughter is just the most amazing. She's always supported Somerset, and it's just it's amazing to watch. Such a defiant young lady, and she's gotten older now. She's a teenager, but in fairness to her, she really has no recollection of St. George's winning. You know what I'm saying? So in her life, I can see why she's for Somerset. They win, but that must be tough for the Mings, man, having a Somerset supporter in the house. That's like owning a cat, right? Like cats are so unpredictable to me, right? Cats scare me. It's like that cat plotting to take me out. So yeah, you can't trust living with a Somerset supporter in a St. George's household. You can't do that. No. Sending love to the Mings. We've got Miss Ellen Kate Horton says, I was born and bred in Somerset to a cricketing family, both sides of my family. Well, you had no choice. Yeah. Miss Horton, if I were to hear that someone in your family was for St. George, something tells me they'd be put up for adoption. Yeah, they'd be put up for adoption. Folks, this is your daily discussion brought to you by Titan Express and Secure. Don't forget to answer the poll. How do you think the game will end? 1 for a St. George's win, 2 for a Somerset win, and 3 for a draw. It looks like many of you think it'll be a draw, and I think that's fair. I think, because the weather seemingly may play a role. The weather may play a role. That's the other thing, man. Sometimes I wish we had a dome or something. I know it will take away from the experience, but man, it only takes place once a year and you got to wait until the next year. If it rains, man. We've got Stacey Ann Brown says, I was adopted into a Somerset family. Oh my goodness. They were desperate for people, so they went out and started adopting people. St. George's folks, we've got to do better. We've got to do better. We're letting Somerset folks adopt people. Stacey Ann Brown, it's not too late. It's not too late. I'm telling you, it is not too late. Yeah, it's not too late. Starting this year, you're going to wish, you are going to wish you chose a different family. Richard Scott says, born and raised in Somerset, been around SCC my entire life. You know, Richard, I'm going to ask you something. President Richard Scott, president of Somerset Cricket Club. What if one of your children decided that they were going to be for St. George? I hope he answers that, folks. Michelle White says, 1, of course, the weather may help because we need the help. So Michelle thinks St. George's will win, but I think the weather's going to help Somerset keep that cup because I'm confident in my team this year. You notice I used to start trash talking in January. I didn't do that this year. I said, nope, my team's going to do it on the field. And then something happened. I slipped back into my old ways. Yeah, I did. But I'm confident. I am confident, folks. I am confident that not of us in George's victory. I'm confident that it's going to be a great game. I'm confident that both clubs, because someone sent a message yesterday because we had Coach Clay Smith, and I'll address this publicly right now. Speaking about addressing the behavior on the field last year. Here's the thing about that. We had both presidents, Neil Painter and Richard Scott, on the show earlier this month. We addressed it. We spoke about it. We've had Taryn Frey on. We've discussed it. We've discussed it enough. Everyone knows what happened. If the same happened this year, then maybe the conversation continues. But I'm pretty sure that both clubs have met, as they've said, they've discussed it, and now we're going to move on and hopefully have a great day of cricket. So I don't know what more there is to say about it. Like, I don't know what's the point of dragging it on. But we've discussed the behavior of what happened last year. I mean, I wrote an essay that pretty much divided people on it. Let's move forward. Let's hope for a great day of cricket and commemorating Emancipation and Mary Prince. And I know people are going to drink and party. I know that. But let's try to be respectful in the process. Let's all do that. Suzanne Ingham says, all of my family are St. George's except my grandsons and their mom's family. I want a St. George's win, but I think the weather will cause a draw. Okay. We've got Charles H. Jefferson II says, Richard already has one who supports St. George's. I'm working on the other two soon. Come. I love it. I love it. We've got Richard Scott says, my oldest son is from St. George. He's a diehard St. George fan. I tell him his spot in the will is questionable. One of his life's blemishes. I love it. You know what? I love it. I love it, Richard. I love it. There we go. It's my nephew there, folks. That's my nephew. We've got Michelle White says, penalize those players who behave badly and they don't participate the next year. I'm sure that, trust me, I think the clubs have learned valuable lessons due to what happened last year. I think it happened, and I'm confident we've moved past that. I'm confident we've moved past it. But folks, this is your daily discussion brought to you by Titan Express and Secure. So the majority of you, well, not majority, but most of you, 40% of you believe that the game will end in a draw, and you are 50-50 on if there's a result who will win. St. George's Somerset. So St. George's fans are feeling much more confident than prior years. That's a good thing. That's a good thing, because for years we didn't have much to feel confident about, you know. But let's show some love to Titan Express and Secure. We'll take a break. And we've got Stacey-Lee Williams on. And this is, folks, I know we're having fun talking about Cup Match. But going into Cup Match, this is probably one of the most interesting and important conversations that we will have about this holiday that we're celebrating. So if you can do me a favor, do ourselves a favor. We always talk about what we can do to get more people to commemorate Emancipation and Mary Prince. So do us a favor right now. If you're tuned in on your phone, copy the link, send it to a friend, a family member, even your colleagues. We're going to have a very, very engaging conversation about the true meaning of Cup Match after the break. But let's show some Titan Express some love and Secure right now. The daily discussion is brought to you by Titan Express and Secure. Titan Express delivers safe, professional, and reliable transportation and tours across the island. From island tours to cultural expressions, they set their standard. And Secure is your go-to for property management, waste management, and residential and commercial services. Visit securebda.com. Professional, punctual, and reliable service is their commitment to you. Alrighty, folks, we've also got, courtesy of our friends at Zipbacks, we've got a Bermudian icon to share this week. Then we'll do Days of the Year, go to a break, and then we'll have Stacey-Lee Williams coming up after that.
Welcome to TDH's Bermudian Icon series, brought to you by the great folks at Zipbacks. If you want proof that a Bermudian can shape global culture without ever forgetting where she came from, look no further than Shiona Turini. Born and raised in Bermuda, she's become one of the most respected fashion editors and costume designers on the planet, building her reputation at Teen Vogue, CR Fashion Book, and as the fashion market director at Cosmopolitan. Like that Cosmopolitan. But it was her extraordinary eye for visual storytelling that truly set her apart. She styled icons including Beyonce, like Beyonce, Rihanna, like Rihanna, Solange, Issa Rae, Yara Shahidi, among many others, and served as a lead costume designer for HBO's Insecure, helping define one of TV's most celebrated visual identities. Her work doesn't just dress celebrities. It shapes how millions of people see Black beauty, confidence, and culture. Through originality, impeccable taste, and an unmistakable creative vision, Shiona Turini has quietly become one of Bermuda's most influential cultural exports, proving that sometimes the people shaping global culture aren't the ones standing in front of the camera. They're the ones deciding what the world sees.
And that's today's Bermudian Icon series, brought to you by the great folks at ZipX. Now back to the show.
All right. Thank you so much, Teo, for that. All right, folks, we've got a few days today. It is in the U.S., it's National Soccer Day. It's World Nature Conservation Day. It's Water Park Day. So I want to ask you all, theme parks, in honor of Water Park Day, what is your favorite theme park you've ever visited? Your favorite theme park you've ever visited? I'm not a theme park person at this point in my life. I used to be a daredevil. I used to do a lot of stuff, whatever. But I'm going to go and say Six Flags was one of my favorites, not because of the rides, but because of the games. I used to love, that little basketball game and win stuffed animals. I was a pretty good shot. Trust me, I was. Knock 'em down Hartman. Yeah, knock 'em down Hartman. I just gave myself that nickname, by the way. But I like theme parks with games where you can win stuff. I was never, as I got older, I was on a roller coaster. As my a friend of mine's nephew says, I don't see the point of roller coasters. They're so unnecessary. I was not that person. I used to love them, but at this point, I'm just like, my heart doesn't need to jump up anywhere out of my body. But what's your favorite theme park? Let us know. We're going to take a quick break, and do not forget, share your favorite theme park. We'll be back after this break for a very important conversation. The true meaning of cop match. Again, share it with your friends, your family, your colleagues. I want everyone to be a part of a conversation. Well, look, let's be honest. In 2 days, people are going to be out celebrating, drinking, dancing in their colors. And that's great. But I think we need to understand the reason, as they say about Christmas or the season. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back in a few. Stick with us.
Guess what? Bermuda's most popular game is back. That's right, Shoe Buy is back in stores. But wait, there's more. The brand new Shoe Buy Summer Edition is here too. Bring the laughs, the vibes, the friendly chaos to your barbecues and summer get-togethers with Bermuda's favorite game. Don't miss your chance to get yours. Visit BermudaTrivia.com and follow Bermuda Trivia on social media to learn more.
One lucky bucks in the summer edition has a golden ticket with the chance to win a grand prize courtesy of One Communications.
Hi there, welcome to Medical House. We're located at number 6 Bakery Lane. I can't wait to show you all of the great stuff that we carry. Come on inside, let's see. Long days, long shifts, you no longer have to endure comfortable underwear. Designed by nurses, we now offer premium undergarments by Swoop that are unique, fun, comfortable, and functional. The only underwear you'll ever want to wear. Who says high-quality functional products can't be stylish and comfortable at the same time?
See it all at our new expanded location on Bakery Lane.
Discover Drop It, your go-to grocery delivery. Browse and select from a wide range of groceries, from fresh produce to daily essentials. Our friendly drivers deliver fresh groceries to your door fast, saving you time and hassle. With Drop It, you get fresh groceries delivered fast, so you can focus on what really matters. Drop It. Freshness at your doorstep. Delivered to your door with Lindo's. Why go anyplace else?
Class of 2026. What's your next chapter? University overseas? Bermuda College? Or your first job? HSBC Bermuda can help you start strong.
Now that's what I'm talking about.
Open an HSBC Bermuda bank account and receive a $100 gift card from a local retailer or Amazon.com. And every successful referral receives a $50 reward. Hurry! This limited time offer ends July 31st. Apply online at hsbc.bm/nextchapter, and within 2 business days, an HSBC team member will guide you through the final steps. Terms and conditions apply. HSBC is licensed to conduct banking and investment business by the Bermuda Monetary Authority.
Ever taken medication and thought, why is this hitting me so hard? Or why isn't this doing anything at all? Here's something you may not know. Your body processes medication the same way it needs to process food, using enzymes. And these enzymes metabolize medication so it can be converted into its useful form or removed from your body. Pharmacogenetics looks at how your DNA influences the way your body metabolizes or breaks down medications. It helps explain why a drug that works well for one person causes side effects in another and barely works at all for someone else. That means the same pill at the same dose can feel very different from one person to the next. It's not about blame, it's not about doing something wrong, it's simply biology. And once you know what works best for you, medication decisions stop being guesswork and start becoming personalized.
One of my goals is to really get people to understand have a better understanding of the reason why we are actually even celebrating this game called Cup Match, with Emancipation and of course now Mary Prince. This game was established as a result of the celebration of Emancipation. And with the first game starting, probably a mere 1,000 yards away from where we are currently at the Royal Naval Field. And it's some rich history. It's more than a party. It's more than us getting together for fun. But it's really understanding what this game really, how it came about and what it really means.
I think that's probably the most important thing, that we continue the historical side of it. It derived out of 1834 when the Emancipation of Slaves Act came into play, and then there were lodges and people just came together for a picnic to celebrate that. And then the cricket game came. So, we talk about the cricket, but we really need to talk about what it's about.
It's about our shared heritage. It's about a single act that took place on August 1st, 1834, that took place across the region for British Caribbean islands. And it was an act of freedom. So the single act that took place in a parliament had the opportunity to free and also speak to empowerment for Bermuda and other British Caribbean islands.
Alrighty, welcome back to the big show. Jamal Hartman here. This is the Daily Hour, brought to you by our good friends at the BAC Group of Companies, HSBC, Bermuda Medical House, Lindo's, People's Pharmacy, and big love to Hot 107.5 for ensuring that we can pump through the radio airwaves with these most important community conversations. Folks, I just want to give a shout out. You really don't see, all you see is my face, but the amount of people behind the scenes who do the work, legit do the work. Philip Trott does an amazing job. He does probably between him and Stephanie Blyden do just so much behind the scenes you don't see. So I just want to give them a lot of love, big ups to them. Trust me, I always tell you, you see my face, but I'm hear my voice, but they do a lot of the stuff that you guys see. Also Keith and Tiffany Durham and Hannah, and the new members of our team who are in the back. We've had a summer student, Kaya Smith Dyer, or Kaya Dyer Smith. Sorry if I'm saying her name wrong. Marlena Ortega, who's recently joined us as well. And then obviously all those who participate during CUPMAT selection night. So just want to give a big thanks to them. And because of your support, we're able to bring them on and try to improve everything we do. So if you see any of them, if you know any of them, thank them for the part that they play in ensuring that we are able to continue to improve. I do have an announcement to make. So yesterday I got a random text from someone, and they said, there's a new energy in St. George's team to beat Somerset Cricket Club without fear. And I was shocked because this is a Somerset person. This is someone from up the West End. Said, I'm rocking blue and blue. Said, my son and family over SCC or anybody else. Folks, I would like to have a celebration. If you can please join me, audience, in welcoming the Honorable former opposition leader, Mark Bean, over to St. George's. Yes, he is, oops, that's the wrong music. Sorry. Welcome, Mark Bean. His son, Janoy Bean, has been chosen as a reserve for St. George's Cricket Club. So congratulations to Mark. So I share that because I think it's important that President of Somerset, Richard Scott, since his son's a St. George's fan, hey, maybe Mark could be some inspiration. Go where your son goes. I love it. I ain't never heard of that, but I love it. Mark Bean, a new St. George's fan. I'm happy to make that announcement. We are happy, excited to welcome the Honorable Mark Bean. He is excited that his son is now over. He is excited. I'm happy. He said, I am so proud of him. So proud of him. Last year, he lost one of his best friends. He went back to the UK and found himself and returned 40 pounds lighter. So it's a beautiful story, but the Honorable Mark Bean is now a St. George's fan, folks. Yes, we at St. George's would love to welcome Mark, his son, and his entire family with open arms to the blue side and the blue side only. All right, folks, I did ask you prior to the break, what's your favorite theme park? And Six Flags Atlanta. Yeah, I was going to say Six Flags Atlanta. I said Six Flags, but Atlanta, even though I have not been since I've lived in Atlanta. Years ago, it was a water park in Florida, but I really love Six Flags in Charlotte, North Carolina, says Suzanne Ingham. Canada's Wonderland, says Nicole Walker. Nicole Walker also says, Mr. Bean has always come across as a man of intelligence, so it's only right. Well, folks, we've got a very special guest. We're going to have a conversation that should be had not just during this time of year, but throughout the year. I am grateful to Stacey-Lee for providing some did you know facts that we were able to share during a cut match selection night. That piece that you saw just now with both presidents and also the Honorable Minister Alexa Lightbourne, that was a piece that Philip Sharp put together. They're not talking about a cricket game. They're talking about our history. They're talking about those who paved the way for us to enjoy that of which we will enjoy this week. And there's no better person than the executive director of CURB, Stacey-Lee Williams, to join us to continue that conversation, to engage all of us this morning. Let's give her a warm TDH welcome. Stacey, good morning.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning, Bermuda.
Greetings. Well, first off, I'm not even going to wait to the end to be your Somerset fan, right? Yeah.
Here we go. You see the Somerset flag here?
I love that beautiful flag. Just the colors are a bit off. Colors a bit off.
Yeah, it's the red and blue. Beautiful flag. I also have them in blue and blue, though.
Okay. So how did you become a Somerset fan?
My dad was really a really good cricket player. Rest his soul. He passed away on Father's Day. But this cup match, I'm thinking of him. He was an avid Somerset fan, always, but he was a great cricketer for Bermuda as well. Dane Brown.
Sending you love for your father once again.
Thank you.
So I think so many people were indoctrinated in choosing their teams. And I love the banter. You love the banter. We love the banter. It's part of the celebration. Beautiful. But I've been quoting you and Rashida a lot lately. Over the last week, people probably like Stacey. He keeps talking about you saying commemorate versus celebrate. But it's real. It's real, and I'm gonna keep saying it because the more I say it, others, the same way I picked it up from you all, others will pick it up, and hopefully, we'll start commemorating more things and understanding what it is we should be grateful for and what it is our ancestors paved the way for us to enjoy. But many people look forward to Cup Match every year, right? This holiday is like one of the favorites on the calendar, as I mentioned. But not everyone fully understands why we celebrate it. Can you explain the historical significance of Emancipation Day, Mary Prince Day, and why these observances remain so important today?
Okay, thanks. It is wonderful to celebrate, and I encourage people to celebrate, but I believe that commemorating the actual holiday will enhance your celebrations because it brings true meaning. Emancipation Day, the first day of Cup Match, August 1st, marks the anniversary of emancipation for Bermuda. In 1834, on August 1st, slavery was abolished in Bermuda. The year prior, it was abolished in England. So it's very important to know that, to acknowledge that, and to carry on the celebrations or the acknowledgement of our ancestors, because they did a wonderful job, especially the friendly societies who introduced the large picnic and to celebrate Emancipation Day. And so all of Cup Match came out of that. And it's so important that we acknowledge that.
Indeed. And I'm happy these conversations are happening more often. You know, I will make it a point every year to attend the Emancipation story if it's something that happens every year. But one of the things I'll be sure to do is bring people with me. I did bring one of my friends, but even he's over 40, but my nieces and my sisters hopefully can attend going forward, because that was the only disappointing part, that it was not more young people. And I say young, not necessarily children, but people under the age of 40. Now, Mary Prince is one of Bermuda's most influential historical figures and the first Black woman to publish the story of her life. I've stated publicly that I did not know of Mary Prince or Sally Bassett until I was an adult. I was thankful to purchase one book online, and then Suzanne Ingham of our TDH audience purchased me another book. As I am on vacation this week in Belize, showing off, I will be reading these books. I want to know, as Rashida said during the presentation last week, is she's given us a guide to go do our own research. And that is what I'm going to take the responsibility. But can you explain what is her legacy, and why should every Bermudian know her story, as the second day is now there to commemorate her legacy?
Yeah, and I think rightly so that it being the second day of Cup Match is really, really important for Bermuda. Mary Prince, she was born in 1788, and she was born in Brackish Point area, Brackish Point in Devonshire. But she experienced significant trauma, being separated from her family, being enslaved, and we know about all the traumas of enslavement. But in 1831, she connected with the Anti-Slavery Society and told her story. And that's how the book came about, The History of Mary Prince, a West Indian Slave. And it was related by herself and then published. And this was groundbreaking, right? She's the first Black woman to do this. And so we add her to that story of leading towards emancipation, because emancipation in England happened in 1833. This is her story told in 1831. And so she helped with the abolition of enslavement. So it's very important. And she was Bermudian. She was born here. And so rightly so, she's also a national hero. And so we really need to acknowledge that. And it ties in perfectly, intersects perfectly with Cup Match, with the first day being Emancipation Day and the second day being Mary Prince Day.
Indeed. Audience, if you have any questions or comments for Stacey-Lee Williams, you can feel free to send them through. We'll get through as many comments and questions as we can. Now, for many, as I mentioned earlier, Cup Match is synonymous with cricket, camping, and socializing. But its origins are rooted in emancipation and the celebration of freedom. Why is it important that we continue to preserve and share that history with future generations?
It's always important to share our history, because we need to look to the past in order to progress our way forward, but progress our way forward in equity. so that we can understand what fairness is. If we understand what our ancestors went through to get here, then we have more appreciation for life. We have more appreciation for just equity, just sharing empathy and equity amongst each other. But it's helps us. It helps us to continue the stories. It helps us to relate, and it helps us to get rid of confusion about why we're here.
Indeed, I agree. Now, I just want to remind people, like CURB's mission is centered around addressing racism through education and dialogue. How do conversations about Bermuda's history help us better understand the challenges and opportunities that exist in our society today?
Well, certainly learning history is truth. And truth, truth opens doors. Truth opens transformation and understanding. Truth produces empathy for others. It's just, we must continue telling these stories. We must continue sharing the truth so that we can have a sense of empowerment and purpose for moving forward in life, but also so that we can have empathy for others, but also like we can actually walk through Bermuda collectively. That's the end goal, because anti-racism isn't just about for Black people to be empowered. Anti-racism is for all of us. So for a more equitable Bermuda means it's a benefit to all, to everybody.
Indeed. But I agree. But as time passes and generations change, there's always the risk that history becomes diluted or forgotten. What role do schools and families and community organizations and events like CURB Match play in ensuring Bermuda's history is preserved accurately?
I think all of those institutions, organizations do play a role, and we must be teaching the truth of our history in our schools, in our clubs, in our churches even, because that's about community. We have moved away from community. And so we need to look at how we, even like how the Friendly Societies brought together community, we need to go back there and look at what worked. What worked so that we can so that Bermuda can heal, right? And so teaching our children is the best thing you can do in order to commemorate. Teaching each other, and like you said, inviting others out to these presentations. That's what you can do. We all can do something, because building community and building relationship is what is important right now today for Bermuda, so that we can stop having these divided conversations about what's better for Bermuda, so that we can all come together and talk about what's better for Bermuda, and so that we don't have people just saying things that further divide us.
Yeah, indeed. I want to go to the audience. And audience, if you have any questions or comments, send them through, please do. We've got Larry Samuel says, good morning. What or how are we measuring the significance and effect of emancipation in Bermuda?
That's an interesting question. I myself have not been putting together any measurement tools for how we celebrate, but I do see an increase in our community of acknowledgement. There are several workshops or presentations that are being put on by different sectors in the community around what CURB Match really means, and they do have the right stories, because I'm attending, I'm listening. We do see, even with our young people, some of our young people understand what it is because they've been taught. So that is a measurement of today that I can see, but also, how CURB tries to keep that conversation going. And if I showed the flag a little earlier and I'll show it again, but this is how we keep the conversation going, because our flag is not just the Somerset or St. George's colors, but it tells the story. So if you look at our flag, it says Emancipation. On our big 4x6 flags, it says, it also has the date 1834, but you also see Mary Prince there with a broken chain. And then you see the cricket player there. That's how we acknowledge Emancipation Day. And then you have CURB's logo here, which is an Adinkra symbol, which means emancipation, independence, and freedom. So that's how we choose to do that, to educate the community. And we have more and more people, if that's a measurement, we have more and more people interested in learning the story of emancipation. So when we do our lunch and learns, they're always full. When we do our workshops, they are full when it comes to the origins of Cop Match and the history of emancipation.
I want to go back to the flags, because people, hopefully you all go out and get these flags. Those are the flags I'd love to see. But I want to go back a minute, because I appreciate all CURB does. I appreciate the work of many in the community, like Rashida, and then educating people. But there are still people, especially among Black people, who feel like we should leave history in the past and focus on today, and that racism isn't an issue, and it's young Black people committing the crimes. Like, what do you say to that, as far as like, educating people on history and commemorating those who paved the way for us?
So unfortunately, that is the case, and it will probably continue being the case, because what racism, where we see racism persist in Bermuda is in housing, also all those areas of struggle, right? Homelessness. There is also ignorance, and I'm not calling people ignorant, but there's ignorance to history that keeps us stuck in those areas. So in the work that I do at CURB, it is about that continual needing to share, needing to educate, needing to advocate for people that are actually experiencing racism in Bermuda, and we actually do that on a daily basis, which is unfortunate within itself as well. But it's so important that us adults, us that have raised these individuals that are turning a blind eye to history, that we somehow regain some impact in their lives, so that we can start healing, so that we can start moving forward. But there are some groups, there are pockets of young people that are telling this story. When you look at Bruce's book club, when you look at CURB's even starting a podcast, it's called Tree Frog Talk, and it's just young people having these conversations, and we're looking forward to putting that out there soon. But there's young people having these conversations, there's young people wanting us to learn, or to share with their peers what the true history is. But in some ways, they are accepting it more as well.
Who is this history for? Who is this history for? Who is this history?
History is for all of us, because it's our history. It's not just Black people's history. It's everybody's history. It's the truth is our history. So, history is for absolutely all of us, and Bermudian and non-Bermudian, because if non-Bermudians learn our history, then they can have more sensitivities and respect for who we are as Bermudians, for who we are, our traditions, our culture, and respecting that. Because we tend to do that when we go outside of the island. But we need to make sure that anybody that comes here also knows our history, so that they can have those sensitivities.
I feel like we don't talk enough. I love having you on. I really do. I do. Because I want to talk all day to you, but I want to stay focused, but I want to go to the audience as well, because we've got some questions. Anika the Shield says, have any companies included CURB in the orientation/onboarding program of foreign workers new to the island? Now, you were just touching on that, actually, but this would be actually necessary, in my opinion, based on how some workers come to Bermuda, and they're actually they have disdain based on what they're told about from other non-Bermudians. I've seen it.
Yes, I actually think it should be something that's mandatory for anybody that comes into Bermuda to work. I do believe that. There's not enough companies that invite us to do an orientation. And there's a couple of things out there, like Cordell has the Blue Flag, and also but Department of Tourism has the Anchor program. But that's things that, we need to design and have just something that's really prepared for prepared so that we can share our stories or share that orientation to Bermuda to every person that enters Bermuda to work or to reside. It's so important because it helps to, like I said, build sensitivity, but also respect, and then we will get along more. I truly believe that.
Indeed. We've got a comment here. Mary Samuel says, knowledge is not equal to change. I think what he's saying is we're educating people, but it doesn't necessarily mean they're going to change. Let's say they don't change, right? They have the information. That's their choice. You can't force people to change, right?
Yeah, but difficult conversations lead to transformation. So you got to be willing to have the critical conversations that you are shying away from, right? Because that's when transformation occurs. It's only when you have a level of discomfort that you start thinking about others, that you start saying or questioning your own inner beliefs, because we all have that. We have to unlearn some things. All of us have to unlearn some things in order for us to progress forward. And so it's being willing to have those difficult conversations, being in those spaces that make you uncomfortable. That's when true transformation occurs.
Indeed. Got another question. Charles H. Jeffs II says, good morning, Stacey. Where are we with the reparations discussions? Do you think we will ever see reparations come to fruition?
So with CURB's been having focus groups on reparations, and we just had one at the beginning or mid-June, one of our focus groups, and it was absolutely packed. People are very interested in having the discussions around reparations. So our focus groups ask questions of the community on what they think reparations is and how do they think reparations should even happen here in Bermuda. Rashida and I, because Rashida is our lead on reparations for CURB, and we've met with different organizations, even overseas, like online overseas, to see how we can delve deeper into the reparations movement for Bermuda. So we're progressing in that way. We have a lot of feedback from our focus groups. So we're having a position paper written and so that we can have that presented. It's taken a little longer than we expected because we need more feedback or more voices from the various sectors of the community. So that's where we are as CURB moving towards that. But we are seeing some pockets of reparatory initiatives that are popping up, like the two young ladies, and they were white ladies who they put forward funding for a reparations scholarship, and CURB managed that. So what they did, they recognized that that they received, they received scholarships and they could have afforded otherwise, but they said now's their turn to give back. And they said it has to be to Black Bermudians that have need. And so we're seeing some little reparatory movements like that, but it's going to take everybody to think about how we move forward and in repair in Bermuda, because reparations isn't just about financial financial recompense or things like that, but it is about all of those areas, about how do we deal with healthcare, how do we deal with education. It's all about repair and putting back into the community in order to make sure that we start seeing some change.
Indeed. Before we let you go, as we prepare to commemorate Emancipation Day, Mary Prince Day, and Cop Match, what message would you like to leave with Bermudians about honoring those who fought for freedom and justice and the rights many of us enjoy today?
So I want our community to think about this. Celebration will ask us, how will we enjoy the occasion? And there's nothing wrong with celebration, but commemoration, it challenges to think about what happened, who made sacrifices, and what are we being called to remember. So celebration allows us to enjoy the benefits of the present. Commemoration connects those benefits to the struggles of the past. So let's both celebrate and commemorate.
I love it. I love it. Stacey, thank you so much. Real quickly, before you head out, I wanted to ask you the flags. How can those interested get one of those flags? Are they like, do they have to come by your office? Let the people know where they can get them.
Okay, so we have two sizes. We have the car flags, and we also have the 4x6 flags. Now, the car flags you can get at Robertson's Pharmacy or People's Pharmacy and the bookstore in Bermuda, Bermuda bookstore in Hamilton. The larger flags, we have them at CURB's office, and we also have car flags at CURB's office, and they are 4x6. The car flakes are 25, the larger flakes are 75. And this is a fundraiser for CURB so that we can continue the work we do, continue our training and workshops. And we look forward to seeing our big flags, because this is the first year with the larger flags at Cup Match, all over Cup Match. We did donate some flags to the Somerset Cricket Club. We have some for St. George's Cricket Club. I just need to get down there to give them. But
no biases.
But a lot of people have been buying them and saying they're going to put them up in their camps. So I'm so excited to see that because it means that people are truly appreciating the true meaning of Cup Match.
Can you just remind people where your office is? We got a question. Where's the office?
So it is in the International Center, number 26 Bermudiana Road. I don't know what I just did. Number 26 Bermudiana Road, up on the second floor, Suite 205. If you know where Spax is, we're upstairs of Spax, or Portofino, we're upstairs, up on the second floor, Suite 205. And I will be in around, I should be in the office around 10:30 today for the remainder of the day. If you're interested, and you can call us on 707-1496.
All right, one last question, Karen Edward Simmons. There was a book mentioned last week by a young man and his grandmother. Do you remember the name of the book so that she can buy it?
I'm not sure which book you're referring to, Karen. Rashida might have mentioned a book, but I don't recall that particular one. I know we talked about the Mary Prince book, and CURB has the timeline, but I'm not quite sure which book that is. I'm sorry.
All right, Stacey, thank you so much. Thank you for the conversation again. Just folks, she did lose her father, so we were not able to have it last month, but just wanted to send you a lot of love. Your father and losing him on Father's Day as well. So thank you for everything that you continue to do. And we look forward to the next conversation. Amazing conversation, a helpful conversation, and community conversation. So enjoy the holiday. Talk soon.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Stacey-Lee Williams, Executive Director of CURB. Folks, we're going to take our final break. Don't forget, it is still Christmas in July. After this break, we'll give away a Cup Match ticket. Yeah, we're going to give you away a Cup Match ticket, and we'll also give you a VIP car wash. 2 gifts coming up. You have to just wait until we come back for today's hashtag. Stick with us. Don't go anywhere.
Yeah, I don't got this. I'm gonna be fast at delivery and run.
Oh, don't pay me enough for that,
Oh, no, sugar! Okay, who's the fastest? Who's the fastest? It's me. Talk to me. No more stress. Just sit back.
For over 70 years, Bermuda Pest Control has been protecting homes and businesses island-wide. We offer a full suite of services, including rodent control, termite fumigation, and general insect control and maintenance. Our team of experts will quickly and efficiently eliminate any pest problem you may have. With Bermuda Pest Control, you can enjoy a pest-free home in no time. We're committed to providing fast, reliable, and solution-driven services for our customers. It's what we've been doing since 1952. Call Bermuda Pest Control today and say goodbye to pests for good.
Dreaming of expanding your business? With BDC's Loan Guarantee Program, we support your ambitions. Get up to 75% guarantee on bank or credit union loans up to $300,000. Just your vision and our support. Apply today and unlock new business opportunities. BDC, Bermuda Business starts here.
Bermuda, there's nothing like a home-cooked meal, especially when you can feed the whole family without stretching your wallet. With the affordable Bermuda basket, you'll find savings on everyday staples like rice, chicken, corn, and more. Everything you need to make a good meal for less. Shop the Bermuda basket at Lindo's, Marketplace, the Garden Market, and the English Market. Visit costofliving.gov.bm to see the full list of goods and start planning your meals. This is a message from the Ministry of Home Affairs.
Life moves fast, and so can the unexpected. When you insure your home, you need to know that your insurance company has your back. At Friesenbrook, let one of our friendly and professional agents give you that peace of mind. Because when you are covered, you are confident. Call us at 296-3600 or visit friesenbrook.bm to learn more.
One of my goals is to really get people to understand have a better understanding of the reason why we are actually even celebrating this game called Cup Match, with Emancipation and of course now Mary Prince. This game was established as a result of the celebration of Emancipation. And with the first game starting, probably a mere 1,000 yards away from where we are currently at the Royal Naval Field. And it's some rich history. It's more than a party. It's more than us getting together for fun. But it's really understanding what this game really, how it came about and what it really means.
I think that's probably the most important thing, that we continue the historical side of it. It derived out of 1834 when the Emancipation of Slaves Act came into play, and then there were lodges and people just came together for a picnic to celebrate that. And then the cricket game came. So, we talk about the cricket, but we really need to talk about what it's about.
It's about our shared heritage. It's about a single act that took place on August 1st, 1834, that took place across the region for British Caribbean islands. And it was an act of freedom. So the single act that took place in a parliament had the opportunity to free and also speak to empowerment for Bermuda and other British Caribbean islands.
One of my goals is to really get people to understand have a better understanding of.
Alrighty, welcome back to the big show. Thanks again to you all for rocking with us. Thanks again to Stacey-Lee Williams from CURB for stopping by for such an important community conversation of engagement this one. And I want to give a big shout out to our partners, the BAC group of companies, HSBC, Bermuda, Medical House, Lindo's, People's Pharmacy, and big love to Hot 1075 for ensuring that we can pump through the radio areas with these most important community conversations. Folks, it is time for the Daily Play, brought to you by Bermuda Trivia, now available at stores throughout Bermuda. We talk about history, we talk about commemorating, we talk about information and education. Bermuda Trivia has 7 regular card games. We have made it fun. We have a coloring book for children and adults. We have the crossword puzzle book. We also have the shoe buy games and more. Finding fun ways to inform, educate people is probably one of the best strategies there are, right? Make it interesting and entertaining. But you can find Bermuda Trivia from Somerset right down to St. George, Caesars right through the city, at Bermuda Bookstore, at Brown & Co., at People's Pharmacy, at Phoenix Stores, and also down at Robertson's. All right. So follow Bermuda Trivia on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, X, and TikTok to find out why it's Bermuda's favorite trivia game. All right. Are you ready, audience? It's a remember when. So remember when. We'll do the giveaway. Don't worry, we'll do the giveaway. But it's a remember when right now. All righty. Here we go. Citizens Uprooting Racism in Bermuda, CURB, began following a public meeting held in what year? No one got it. Stacey Ann Brown. The adopted Somerset fan, Stacey Ann Brown's right, 1998. Jeanette Bell, 1998. That's right, you got it. Nicole Walker, 1998. Yes. Citizens Uprooting Racism in Bermuda CURB began following a public meeting held on June 30th, 1998 at Bermuda College. Yeah, that is it. That is it. So again, thankful to Stacey and our friends at CURB for stopping by and rocking with us. Folks, the hashtag this morning, as we wrap it up, Cop Match, we're going to give away a VIP car wash first, and then we'll give away a ticket to Cop Match. Thank you to Richard Scott in Somerset for giving us a ticket to give away, or tickets. But yes, a VIP car wash is part of our Christmas in July. This is our final show before the Cop Match holiday. We will be back live again next week, Tuesday. So you got a whole week off from hearing my voice and seeing my face. Well, live anyway. But let me say this in closing. As it relates to the discussion about picking a team, I think that's the fun part of the holiday. It's fun. I love to hear people's stories about how they chose the team. But I even love the fact that Mark Bean, the Honorable Mark Bean, has changed his team. You know, I think Charles said it earlier. He says, "Welcome to the winning team, Mark Bean." That is honorable. You picked a good year to switch teams. And he goes on to say, that's not it. He says, "Congratulations to Mark Bean again for making such an important life decision." Well, we want to say congratulations to his son for being such an influence and helping him make good decisions later on in life. But that said, that's the fun part. You know, I'd love to see an absolutely great game of sportsmanship and cricket, or at least hear about that over the 2 days. But while that takes place, I really do hope that people stop ignoring the history and start building on it. I'm going to give you the daily inspiration now, and it comes from, it's not a quote of mine or an affirmation. It's from Winston. This is your daily inspiration. It's a question. And when we commemorate, I feel discussions of what comes next after Emancipation, which was 190 years ago. And we have to ask ourselves, have we moved much since? I think that's our daily inspiration today. There's a question in this. And the question is, what does progress look and feel like? Think about that as you're out celebrating. You won't, because you'll be out celebrating, enjoying everything. And Emancipation and Mary Prince will be the last things on your mind. And that's why it's important that while we celebrate and commemorate, that we don't do it just this one time. Think about it. People who go to church regularly are doing it regularly. The biblical history, that's regularly, it's discussed on a regular basis. That's how this should be. Christians don't just talk about Christ during Christmas. And we shouldn't just talk about Emancipation and Mary Prince during Cop Match. Let that stick with you. All right, let's spin this, see who's going to be the winner. Let's do the VIP car wash first. All right. Let's go. All right, let's see if I get the drum roll perfectly done. Here we go. Dang, I can't get it. Ifis, congratulations. You won a VIP car wash. And let's give away a ticket to the big game now. We're going to give away a ticket to the big game. All right, let's see. Who's it going to be? All right. Oh, send an email to engage@thedailyhour.com ASAP, Ifis, so we can get you that stuff, because as of tomorrow, we are on holiday. Here we go. Let's see. Can I get it? Can I get it? Who's going to be the winner of a ticket to the big game? Pam Wade, Nana Pam, congratulations. I think we got the drum roll correct, folks. Here we go. Congratulations, congratulations, congratulations. Folks, we are leaving you. I'll leave you with this. No matter how you choose to celebrate the holiday, please be safe, respectful, and do your best not to interrupt another's happiness or peace. This is a holiday that is bigger than cricket, and it's bigger than us. Let's remember that as we go through this weekend. I hope that everyone has an enjoyable and safe Cup Match holiday weekend. I really do. That said, please don't forget to subscribe on our website and follow us on all of our social media channels to stay up to date with all that we have going on. Help us grow beyond the mic as we do our part to continue to improve our community. Thanks again to our partners, the BAC Group of Companies, Medical House Lindos, People's Pharmacy, and big love to HSBC Bermuda and Hot 1075 for ensuring that we're able to do this with you on a regular basis. As always, we appreciate you, we love you, and we thank you for making us part of your daily routine. If all goes well, we'll be back to do this again with you next Tuesday. I'm Jamel Hartman. As I said, please make it a safe and a great and an enjoyable Cup Match holiday weekend. Happy Emancipation Day. Happy Mary Prince Day. We are is out. Peace.